This was a great team win.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Hello and welcome in to a fun Friday in No Man's Land. John Abraham, Cap Cool, alongside Joe Hunk here on a very interesting day of sports. Joe's already laughing, which means this is going to be a wonderful episode full of zany goofs and gaffs. So make sure you guys tune in over on WZZN TV or on the app 97.7 at ESPN that you can get on Apple and Android devices. On top of that, I don't even have you queued up, Joe.
No, you don't even have to turn.
You want to know why? You want to know why? Because of yesterday's episode, Joe. That's why. All right.
What did I do yesterday?
You didn't
'cause
talk
I
sports.
talked about poop?
You talked about your
'Cause I talked about
fatherhood. You talked about your fatherhood.
Look, man,
That's not what the show's about.
I guarantee you, we know that in the Tennessee Valley, we may have Alabama fans, we may have Auburn fans, we may have Tennessee fans, we have Notre Dame fans, Indiana. I can keep going through it. But you know what we all also have in common out of all those fan bases?
Ohio State fans.
There's probably fewer than those, but there are some. But a lot of the people that are listening to the radio station right now are fathers, and they've had to deal with what happened to me yesterday.
I shouldn't have brought it up, Joe. I shouldn't have brought it up.
I mean, even yesterday when I got home, I had to go and grab the kids and bring them back to Huntsville to meet with my wife because we had a meeting. And even then, the first thing I did right before I got out of the car is I was about to walk in and open the door. I just went, please didn't poop. Please hope you didn't poop. Please, I hope you didn't poop. We don't have time for this. We do not have time for
that
this.
That would have been bad because we were pretty busy yesterday.
Yeah, we were slammed yesterday.
As we are trying to set some new things up over on WZZN TV. So if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you definitely go and do that. You get the full effect of every single one of the shows. You get the live programmings. On top of that, you also get the Havoc Hour with Joe Hunk, as well as a bunch of different Havoc players and coaches on location over at Zambruski's Tavern, which if you haven't been yet, I don't know what you're doing, because this is one of the most unique spots in all of Huntsville to either get crunked or also just eat some food and hang out with the bros while drinking some brews.
Look, there again, talking about being a parent.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that you can do as a parent at other places, no matter if it's soccer, baseball, basketball, no matter where it is. But I can promise you there is not another venue in the city of Huntsville that I know of where you can watch your kids practice and actually also get alcohol served to you at the exact same time.
It's a win-win.
I mean, you can bring your own alcohol, and trust me, I know parents do that, but there's no other place that I know that has a open and a bar with plenty of selections of drinks.
Oh, yeah.
As you can sit and watch your kids practice. There's none other place like it.
No.
So that alone should be the reason why you want to come down to Zambruski's on Tuesday night at 6:00.
No doubt about that. And we got a lot of things coming up this week as well. So the schedule is going to be a little wonky. We'll let you know a little bit more about that on our socials as well as later on within the show. So just keep an ear out and also an eye out for that. But don't worry, the Havoc Hour is still going down on Tuesday.
Yep.
That's one thing that's going to stay constant. So just ease your soul knowing that all the Havoc fans are going to be able to see their favorite players and favorite coaches on a Tuesday at 6 over on WZZN TV.
Yep. Team is actually about to be on the road to head to Knoxville, because they have 2 games in Knoxville tonight and tomorrow night. Then they turn around and they are back in Huntsville on Sunday night at 5:00 is when you're going to be able to go. And it is going to be wiener dog race night. We're going to be racing them wiener dogs. So you can come down and enjoy that Havoc hockey as we are trying and continuing with the best and number 1 team in the SPHL.
Oh, yeah. You know that's right. And, Joe, there's a few things that are going on that we do need to get to throughout today's show. Some of that can consist of the coaching changes that continuously happen. We have one almost every single day being assigned to a head coach. But I got an interesting one for you as I'm putting down a name in your sheet, your call screen.
Yes. But no, in one of these trade, or not trade, but coaching changes that we're talking about, one of them actually has a connection to Huntsville.
And I know exactly where you're going with, Joe.
It does. It does. Before we get to that, though, let's go ahead and get the phone lines because trust me, there's going to be a lot of questions that we have and a lot of phone calls we want to take today. So 256-576-977. Let's head out to Madison. Shane, welcome into the Blitz.
Good morning, guys. How are you? Been a long time.
Good morning, man. We appreciate you calling back in, bro.
Yes, sir. Happy New Year, fellas. So real quick, Joe, since you're there, and I know you're a Braves fan, right?
Yes, absolutely.
May I ask, what in the what are we doing? We haven't made any moves this year. We got Profar. Wow, that's great. Everyone else is making moves and spending money, and we're sitting idle doing basically nothing.
Well, you know what? You're actually not the only one that's asking that question. And I mean, when I say it legitimately, I say that there's a lot of people that are just going, what the crap? Like, why has this team not done anything when it comes to adding free agents that are currently available? And I think that a lot of this also has to do with, I don't want to say the Braves are trying to be smart about the money, but they are trying to be smart about how much money they are going to be potentially paying players. Because look, and a lot of people aren't going to want to hear this. They may not even know this, but Spencer Strider just found out probably in the last 24 hours that he's not going to be ready for opening day because he's still coming back from Tommy John. He threw a couple of bullpen sessions, but he's still not going to be ready. Ronald Acuna Jr. is not going to be ready for opening day because of the ACL. And that's why you bring in somebody like Profar, who, to me, it was crazy because I'm sitting here thinking, like, I think of Profar as a shortstop. I think of him as a second baseman, mainly because that's what I remember him coming up as with the Texas Rangers. But he has played all sorts of positions, including a lot of positions in the outfield. So what you did is you basically added a utility man. That the good thing about it for the Braves is that when Ronald Acuna Jr. comes back, and if Kendrick continues to play like he has and you want to move him back to left, you can move Profar into the infield. You can move him to shortstop. Right. You can move him to second. Like, if a guy needs a day off, he can go over and play third. Like, that he's kind of like a Martin Prado, if you want to think back to the Braves like that. Like, and the thing about him is he's kind of wishy-washy because I still want to know if what he did with the Padres last year is actually real, because the man has never been a true home run hitter. He's had a couple of seasons where he hit 20 home runs, but that was with Texas in the summer where it's 105 degrees inside of the old Arlington Stadium. Like, that's a little bit different. And so I'm kind of curious about it.
Well, I have an interesting, it's not my take.
Yeah.
But my nephew plays on Atlanta's scout team.
Yeah.
And his coach is a former Brave. I guess you guys can guess who it is. Plesko. Anyway.
Yes.
we were talking one day, and he actually said to us that they should trade Acuna because he's injury prone and they can get a lot for him. What do you think about that? Because I think that take is crazy.
Okay, so let's look at it from the two sides of this. All right, with what he is saying, trade Acuna for it. Let's be honest. Now, if you're looking at the benefits, you basically haven't had the guy for 2 full seasons, and one of those you won the World Series. So, I mean, I get, you're like, dang, no, you are right. Like, we want the World Series for Acuna. We love Acuna. It's one of these players that you're just like, he has that I want to say personality that gravitates toward. I want him on the field. Now, here's the other part to this is where you go with, depending on what the Braves want to do with the DH position, because if Acuna is so injury prone and your defense in the outfield is going to be fine without Acuna in that outfield, then why don't you just let him DH? Because he's not getting injured running the bases. He's getting injured playing in the outfield.
Well, now his last became running bases.
It was running bases, but again, he's going to get more wear and tear on his body playing in the outfield and playing in right field than what he does playing in there. So why not move him to a DH? You're not going to want to move him to first base because obviously that's like the one position that they're not going to want to be running a lot with, because you have Matt Olson on this. So, depending on what your DH situation is, let him be your DH. And now all he's really got to do is run for 3 or 4 times a game. And that's a little bit different. If you're looking at it from that about saving his body, let's go with that angle. But
Yes,
he's also
I agree.
not wrong. He's also not wrong about the trade value that you could get if you did consider trading Ronald Acuna Jr. Now, again, you even said it's Klesko, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Klesko knows about this. He was a guy in the outfield with the Atlanta Braves who, at the time, even with how fantastic he was, and yeah, I imitated his swing when I hit my first home run ever. Just letting you know, no joke. I did. I got in trouble with the umpire because he's like, "Can you not sling your bat like that?" I was like, "I'm sorry, I got excited." Dude, seriously, I slammed the bat so far down. I mean, it was total Ryan Klesko, and so with him, he knows this history about it because he was playing with a Braves team that traded David Justice away in 97. He was a part of a trade as well. He went out to San Diego. You have the parts about the Braves whenever they were trying to bring in Michael Tucker and they were bringing in all those guys. Like, everybody was expendable. Plus, this guy with the power that Ryan Klesko had was still a 6 or 7 hole hitter for this Braves team because of what was happening in front of him. So he understands that, look, I know that you're going to love a city and you're going to love a team, but the thought of trading them, I personally, I would much rather go the DH route with Acuna now that is available instead of the trade market. But if you did consider trading him, you would get like 2, 3, maybe even 4, if not number 1 prospects that you could bring in almost in the next season, or you could get guys that are starters now and a couple of prospects for him, because a team like the Yankees or even the Red Sox or even talking about the Dodgers, they would give up ransom for that guy.
Yes, true. No, I get it. I completely get why and the reasons. And yes, I agree with you with the DH route. But the thing is, saying it out loud just hurts.
Oh, no. Dude, no, trust me.
Say.
There so far since, just in the last 20 years, there's been 2 or 3 trades that the Braves have made that had literally felt like a big kick in the junk. I mean, when Kimbrel got traded to San Diego, that one hurts because, again, especially here with him being a local guy. And then when the Freddie Freeman stuff happened and the whole him signing with the Dodgers and then us finding out all the stuff behind the scenes about how his agent didn't tell him the deal the Braves offered and all that, those were massive, just straight kicks in the junk. But in Acuna would be the exact same way because we've seen this kid and we've followed him from the Dominican all the way up to him going through the minor league system and then coming up into Atlanta and his first at bats in Cincy and the bomb and everything that he hit, the home run against the Dodgers in the playoffs. Like, we can remember all this stuff with him, and we know how amazing of a player he can be. If he's healthy, that man is an MVP candidate every single season, especially if he even cuts down on the attempts at trying to steal bases, because now with the new with the new base stealing rules that they have, he could truly steal 70 or 80 bases if he wanted to, but he doesn't.
Absolutely.
But it also works into the part about his knees. Yeah,
well, that's one thing I was going to say. You just touched on it. If he gets healthy, he's right. 70-40, he could blow that away. I mean, I'm talking probably 80-50 if the guy's just DHing and he's healthy. But that's what I'd love to see that. But I appreciate your take on it. You guys have a great day. Good talking to you, and go Cox.
Hey, thanks, Shane. We appreciate it, man. Look, and I'm all about baseball talk anytime. Like, that.
Well, really, you're wearing the Cubs.
I am wearing the Cubs
shirt,
gear.
Whatever.
No, this is a vintage Cubs hoodie that I have, and I was like, you know what? The way that I line my closet up, this is totally 100% laughable. But all the clothes that once I wear them, I then put them in the middle of the rack. So all the clothes that are at the back of the rack are the ones I haven't worn in a while.
Okay.
So that's how I know what I have and haven't worn recently. And so I just went to the back of the rack and I found the hoodie.
Yeah, you got yourself a little conveyor belt almost.
Basically is what it is. So like all the hoodies and because again, this is hoodie season. All the hoodies that I wear, once they start getting to like the back third, I know I haven't worn them in probably 3 or 4 weeks.
I gotcha.
So I just go ahead and do that. This was the one that was in the very, very back.
Okay.
But the part with Ronald Acuna is when he comes back and he's healthy, do you want him to change as the baseball player that he is? Because the player that he is, leadoff man, obviously he can hit 40 home runs. He could truly steal 70 or 80 bases in the new Major League Baseball with the new pickoff rules. He could totally take advantage. Like, Ricky Henderson just passed away. I promise you, if Ricky Henderson was a leadoff hitter in Major League Baseball in 2025, that man would steal 200 bases without even thinking about it.
No doubt.
It would be let's look at Ichiro, who just went into the Hall of Fame, which he had a hilarious comment about the one voter yesterday. But if 2001 Ichiro was playing in 2025, he would have stolen 200 bases. It is the way in which baseball is now, especially with the pickoff rule. You bait your pitcher into getting that one or two pickoffs, and then the moment he does that, you can get a 30-foot lead if you wanted to. You could absolutely get a 30-foot lead if you wanted to, and you would get to second base, no problem whatsoever. Singles automatically turn into doubles. So yes, it changes baseball. And what's fun is it's January 24th. We're about a little over 2 weeks away from pitchers and catchers reporting to Arizona and Florida. And what's even crazier is we're about a week away from softball and baseball getting going for like UAH. So
that means we're going to be on some games soon enough, Joe.
Absolutely. Gonna definitely be on some games as all of that is taking place as well. So there's a lot that we're doing.
The ball's hit to middle field.
And I actually just got a text message from a humongous Braves fan. He's going to remain anonymous, but he knows exactly who he is. The idea of trading Ronald Acuna Jr. still makes sense. Now, the part in which Shane was asking about free agents that are available, the pitchers that are available, a Max Scherzer, Patrick Corbin, those types of players, those are going to be beneficial, especially Max Scherzer. I personally, and I know that he would never do this, I would love to see Max Scherzer as a closer.
Yeah.
I absolutely would. But you're not going to pay $43 million for one season for a closer. The dead arm with him, the strength that he has the ability to go 3 and 4 and 6 and 7 innings, that isn't there anymore. He's more of a 4 to 5 inning pitcher. And with him being 40 years old, I would much rather take him in the 8th and 9th inning, throwing like he does he has a closer mentality than I would having him as a starter. I don't know if he would ever transition to that this late in his career, but if he did, it could potentially add 4 or 5 more years onto his career.
Look, I'm very excited for baseball to be back, but I got to admit, it's not because of the MLB. It's mainly because
Japanese baseball.
I
knew it. I knew it. I've gotten you.
Never watched it before. Never. I might watch it with you one of these days. College baseball.
No, college
baseball is where it's at.
Look, in the UAH softball team, the Gulf South Conference just put out their preseason rankings.
They're good,
and then UAH is the number 1 team in the preseason rankings.
Can't beat them.
That is a fantastic softball team. I'm looking forward to doing some of their games this year. The baseball team I'm getting excited for as well, because we're going to be doing even more games for them on the Charger Zone this year. And I'm extremely excited about it. Plus, that's my sport, man. I mean, I
know. And you know what? It's the sad thing about it for me is whenever I hear you talk about baseball, you do a wonderful job. And honestly, it's what this show needed a little bit more of during this time of the season. It's like NASCAR to you.
It is.
It's like NASCAR to you.
I fully get it.
And it's just the MLB. It's just the MLB. And it's like, and maybe it's like how people are with the NBA.
Do you not understand? Look, you just said it. It's like Major League Baseball. Do you not see why I've gravitated more towards Japanese baseball? The atmosphere, the intensity, the feel, every bit of it is what we wish Major League Baseball would be. It's not a national pastime in Japan. It is an event. Like right now, I promise you, if we were to say, well, this is totally not happening, so do not call. But if we were to say, if you want tickets to Tennessee Auburn, we need you to call in right now with the Auburn fight song. We would have phone lines lit up of Auburn grads that know the Auburn fight song, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, multiply that times 25, because in Japan, every single player has their own fight song. When you score a run, there's a fight song that's different than when you hit a home run. There's a fight song.
They're like superheroes over there.
It's like, whenever they hit, whenever like the Braves have the tomahawk chop, every team has their version of a chant that they do when they're in on rally.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that passion that we have for college football in a baseball atmosphere. So that's the reason why I have gravitated towards it, because you're right about baseball and about that being for what NASCAR is to me, Major League Baseball is to you. And I totally get it. And I fully understand.
Well,
it's not everybody's cup of tea. And I get that. I didn't expect to start the show out like this.
The conversation is also going to be,
and I love it,
gravitating towards Drew DeArmond because he will be our guest in the second segment as we talk college basketball, as we have a boatload of games to listen to watch. And of course, you're going to be able to hear the ones that you care about here on this station at 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. But that's what we're going to get into.
That's right, because over the weekend, we've got Alabama basketball. They're hosting LSU tomorrow night, 7:30 tip-off on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Tennessee and Auburn, you'll be able to hear that on ESPN Winchester at 7:30 as well. So let's talk to Drew about that. Let's talk to him about everything Alabama as well when we continue on the Blitz as we get going on WZZN TV, 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and ESPN Winchester.
Eagle Masonry and Insulation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Stan McDonald. Stan, tell everybody why you're the best damn dirt lawyer in North Alabama.
Yes, Wes. Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. You know I'm a dirt lawyer, and a lot of our friends know that, which means we specialize in real estate. Now, if you own real estate or you're buying it or you're selling it, you need to do a closing, but a lot of times there's legal issues associated with that. We're a great group to talk to. My son, Lewis McDonald, heads our commercial closing division, and we approach your real estate needs very seriously. We seek to be the premier real estate closing company in North Alabama, and we do it in such a way it shows that we're experienced, we're for your success. We like to handle your real estate needs the same way Coach Dan Reeves used to say, never let them see you sweat, and that's going to be to your benefit too when you visit us at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. Our website online is jacobtitle.com.
Here in North Alabama, barbecue is a part of what makes our home so special, and great barbecue from Lawler's makes it just that much better. Since 1978, Lawler's has been serving up their delicious barbecue, pork, ribs, chicken, ham, and turkey for generations of family get-togethers. Recognized as the best barbecue joint in Alabama for 2 years in a row, Lawler's is thrilled to share their award-winning barbecue for your next family meal or catered event. Order online or stop by any one of their 14 area locations. Lawler's Barbecue, cooked slow, served fast.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 30s and lower 40s, dropping into the mid-20s as we head into the overnight early into your Saturday morning. A partly sunny sky Saturday afternoon. We are going to begin to see temperatures climb a little bit on Saturday, so that'll be kind of nice. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 40s. We're getting really close to 50 degrees. We only drop into the upper 20s, lower 30s as we head into the overnight early into your Sunday morning, but we're also going to see an increase in cloud cover across the area. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Attention, may I have the camp's attention?
Your home of the college football playoffs.
Playoffs?
Is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Playoffs? Playoffs?
He won't be in the top half.
Hello and welcome back into the Morning Blitz here on a fun Friday in No Man's Land. I'm John behind the glass, aka Cap Cool, Joe Hunk alongside me, as well as Drew DeArmond as he hops on. Talk a little bit of college basketball, specifically SEC basketball, as we have a fun slate coming up right around the corner. On top of that, there is some NFL conversation to come on today's show. A lot of coaching changes. On top of that, some ties to the Huntsville area, which we will definitely be getting into, because I noticed the same thing, Joe.
I didn't even know it.
Neither did I. I probably saw him play football too.
Hold on, Drew. Do you know what we're talking about?
I don't think I'm up on it right now.
Okay, so real quick before we get into Alabama.
We'll knock it out. It's college related at times.
And WZZ and TV, you have any questions as well for Drew as we get going, you can absolutely do so by hopping in there and getting into the chat. Lim Cohen, who was the offensive coordinator for Kentucky when Will Levis was there.
That's right.
He then became the offensive coordinator down in Tampa Bay.
And we did talk about this at the end of the show.
Right. He is in right now. He is it official? Do we have the official?
Adam Schefter pretty much said so.
Okay.
So that would make it official. Yeah, he's going to be the head coach of the Jacksonville Jags.
Reason I say that is for people that don't know this or even want to remember that team, 2010, Liam Cohen was the quarterback for the Alabama Vipers.
Yep.
Oh, there we go.
Dude, I had
just 1 year.
Just one season, he was the quarterback for the Alabama Vipers.
You know what's crazy?
Hey, don't forget, Brent DeArmond was with the Tennessee Valley Vipers as well, the head coach of the UNA Lions. So we've had two of these guys.
Yes, sir. And there's a lot of more connections. And another awesome little tidbit about his career is whenever he was at UMass, he chose the number 12 because he looked up to Tom Brady, a guy that he honestly could have coached if Tom Brady kept playing for Tampa Bay just a few years longer. And on top of that, he was also roommates back in college when he played for UMass with Victor Cruz. So just another little interesting thing about Liam Cohen, of course, the new head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That one season that the Alabama Vipers were in the AFL, he was their quarterback.
Really? That was when they were in the AFL?
That was when they were in the AFL,
Wow.
2010 Alabama Vipers. And I don't even know if he was a starter. I mean, he could have been the backup, Drew. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll freely admit I did not take in an Alabama Vipers game. I did take in a few Tennessee Valley Vipers. Really love those uniforms, by the way. The silver helmets were the bomb back in the day. But, I did not realize that Liam Cohen had been part of our city, but he certainly got the job with the Jags. His first task is going to be to rebuild Trevor Lawrence, who they have a lot of money and equity in, and get that offense back to where it was a couple of years ago. But we'll see. I mean, they finally got rid of Trent Baalke, who I think was a terrible general manager. It's kind of ironic that they fired him this week, and it looked like Liam Cohen was going to go back to the Bucs as the highest paid offensive coordinator of the NFL, and then boom, he gets the Jags job, which isn't a bad one. I mean, I think they have some talent. They need to reconfigure a little bit, and they'll have a high draft pick. I believe. I haven't seen how all the dominoes fell, but I mean, they'll have a chance to get a really good player. And again, I think just a couple of years ago, they seemed to be on the precipice of turning the corner and being a playoff contender, if not maybe an under the radar Super Bowl contender, and then they took a bunch of steps back, and mainly because Trevor got hurt. When your quarterback gets hurt, that's what happens. Mac Jones was their backup from Bama back in his hometown this year. So it'll be an interesting time to see how that works out. And certainly we saw the Bears make their decision. A lot of these jobs are coming off of the board. Now, one other thing we talked about at the end of the show is it looks like Pete Carroll is pushing hard to get back in the game and wants to be the next coach of the Las Vegas Raiders.
No, and the big thing for them is going to be what if he does become the head coach, what do they want to do with the 6th pick? Because the Jags have the 5th pick in the draft. And the question now with Lim Cohen is, because we just mentioned this at the beginning, the fact that he was the offensive coordinator and he's really the only one that's really gotten anything out of Will Levis, if the Jags would consider thinking about potentially getting Will Levis traded to the Jags for.
I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening personally, but I think this team really needs some stout offensive linemen to just protect their quarterback. That is now, I would say, he's a veteran. I mean, he's been in the league long enough, and whenever this team does have a good offensive line, that's when you see them strive. They already have the playmakers. Their defense seemed like the only thing that was stopping teams and keeping these games close. So that's what I could see this team going towards. But again, there are definitely plenty of options to go down. Definitely a lot of avenues.
And 9 minutes ago, Adam Schefter did tweet, and I didn't even know because I hadn't looked. I guess I did a good job of foreshadowing, but it looks like they're getting far down the road with Pete Carroll and the Raiders. So that could be finalized. Well, the way he phrased it anyway, that by lunchtime you could have Pete Carroll as the new coach of the Raiders. So
I don't know. I don't know if this was just one game or not, but I have found a 2010 matchup between the Orlando Predators and the Alabama Vipers.
No, I still cannot fathom that they were in the AFL. It was always the AF2.
Well, it was. But see, that's when everything started getting off the rails. Though, because for both leagues, honestly.
Yeah, it was actually Tim Hicks that was the starting quarterback for the Alabama Vipers in that particular game.
That's why Cohen is an offensive coordinator.
I found the roster. Alabama also had 6 quarterbacks on the roster.
Wow.
So,
it was a developmental league turned to the AFL, all right? There was a lot of weird things going on at that time. Either way, it's not developmental.
Yeah.
This Alabama team is, of course, they've been able to get some stuff rolling on offense. They come off that big win against Vanderbilt. Just quick, I know you talked about this on Talking Ball, Drew, but you're facing off against an LSU team, and this seems like a game where you just got to get it done and then look forward to Mississippi State.
Well, Mississippi State will be a tough road trip to the hump. It usually is. I mean, they nearly knocked off Kentucky there. It was a 95-90 game. It'll probably be another up-and-down game. But first, you have to take care of LSU. Coach McMahon's team has struggled a little bit in conference play. They're 1-4 overall. You've got to protect your home floor. We already have seen Alabama give one away last week against LSU. Against Ole Miss, before this game against LSU. They bounced back on just about a week ago on Saturday at Kentucky, 102-97. And then they kept it up, 103-87 on Tuesday against Vanderbilt, a very solid Vanderbilt team. We kind of talked about that on our show today on Talking Ball. Vanderbilt is probably this year's version of South Carolina from the standpoint of they were picked dead last. I think South Carolina was a year ago. But they were picked dead last in the SEC, and now with this new roster put together by the transfer portal led by A.J. Hoggard from Michigan State, they're a solid team. I mean, they did lose to Alabama, but they beat Tennessee last weekend by 1, and we talked about it. They have a huge opportunity on Saturday in Memorial Coliseum. I guess I saw it Memorial Gym. They still call it Gym there. But in Memorial Gym, Vanderbilt bringing Kentucky to town. No. So that'll be a big game for them. I was just looking at some of their social media. They're starting to get the celebrities back. I think for their win over Tennessee last week, Jelly Roll was in the first row.
Oh, of course.
And so, watching Vandy get that win. So that's big for them. In their program under Mark Byington. He's in his first year coming over from James Madison. So he did a great job there, great job at Georgia Southern, and they've been a surprise. I mean, they've been really good. Missouri's bounced back from the 0-18 season. They are very solid, even though they did drop a game this week to the Texas Longhorns. Texas has got a big game because they got a rematch with A&M at home. A&M already whacked them by 20 over in College Station. And Buzz Williams' team, they are just a tough bunch of dudes, man, because they were down the entire game against Ole Miss the other night in the pavilion, hung around, scrapped. Ole Miss was really sloppy with the ball late, missed some free throws, and then bang, they hit a 3 in the last 10 seconds to take a 1-point lead. The only time they led the whole game. And then they still won in Oxford. So Alabama has to avoid that. This is a good backcourt for LSU, but Alabama's very deep, and they may be deeper. We don't know yet if Darion Reed will play this weekend. He may miss one more game. He's coming back from an ankle situation. So if he is out, Houston Millette certainly is not going to be playing. We won't see, Latrell Wright. So they could be down to 9 guys. Yeah. But it's a very, very talented group. So everybody's got to roll. Everybody's going to see time. And to be honest, this is just a game where you have your mind right, be ready to go. And I think Alabama can get another impressive win over LSU. It should be a sellout crowd. It's going to be a late tip. It's going to be 7:30, the last game of the day, basically in the SEC. And if you're Alabama, depending on what happens over at Neville Arena, because Auburn, that's going to be maybe the biggest game of the day in the league. Game day is there.
I'd say in all of college basketball, honestly.
And it's a top 10 matchup with Tennessee. You don't know if Jonai is going to play or not. We talked to Brian Matthews yesterday. He gave 50-50. Blake Lovell came on with us, and they had talked to Bruce Pearl on Southeastern 16. He thought via reading the tea leaves with Bruce that they might hold him out one more game because, again, you don't want to bring him back too soon. The option is to have him back for the rest of the year. That's the biggest thing. Get him healthy. But again, it's a big game with Tennessee. But this Auburn team has played at a high level even without him because of our good friend Chaney Johnson, who's been solid moving into the starting lineup. Denver Jones, another guy, former Buckhorn Buck, who's playing point guard. And then Tahad Pettiford. Everybody knows how much I hate mock drafts. But somebody sent me a mock draft this morning, and Tahad is now appearing at the end of the first round to be drafted by the Utah Jazz. So, again, and LeBaron Philon's still in round one, New Orleans Pelicans. So, Tahad Pettiford has really stepped up for Auburn. He may not be a starter, but I don't really believe in all that. Are you on the floor at the end of the game? That's the most important thing. His ability to create, his ability to shoot the basketball, his ability to defend, and just be a junkyard dog has been huge for Auburn. And they can still win the game at home. Look, Mississippi State's really good, and Alabama's going to have to head to the hump next Wednesday. Pardon me, it'll be a Wednesday game for Alabama. But think about it. I mean, Auburn, without Jonai, they routed Mississippi State, 88-66. So it's a very tough environment in Neville Arena, no question about that. It'll be a sellout. Now that we were kind of joking around, and again, we want everybody to be healthy. We want everybody to be safe. But it was hard. It was going to be hard this week for the students to camp out because all the friggin' snow in Auburn.
Absolutely,
because they got smacked. And so they weren't letting them. They were trying to keep them safe and warm, so they weren't letting them camp out. So we'll see. So certainly it should still be a huge crowd there, and I'm sure they'll be loud and proud for game day on Saturday. It's big for our state, big for Auburn, and Alabama needs to win because Auburn is still the only undefeated team left in this league. And if you want to hold serve and you want to stay in contention for an SEC regular season championship, then you have to continue to win. And right now, the cool part is, we talked about this with Joe Lenardi, he's got 12 SEC teams in. Personally, I would cap it by the end of the regular season. This is when the whole process, because there's 12 games left pretty much. Yeah. I would say 10. I'm not really
I kind of agree with you.
12 of the 16 are going to get in. Joe has 12 in right now, but I'm not really – I think they're going to cannibalize themselves a little bit, but double figures I can still easily see happen. And right now, both Alabama and Auburn, along with Duke and Iowa State, are on that one line.
Exactly. And there was one thing that I was thinking of when you were talking about all of that. You talked about last year, South Carolina being that team.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
Just came out of nowhere. And this season, you could say that it was about to be Mizzou because they were dead last season, didn't win one SEC matchup. And then this year, you think they're doing well. Then they start losing games.
Yeah,
then Ole Miss also losing games. Now they're facing off against each other, both the top 25 teams. Out of these two, I know that we got to see Ole Miss, of course, beat Alabama, but who do you think is actually legit within these two?
Well, I think they're both really good teams, but I still like Chris Beard and Ole Miss. They certainly need to bounce back. That was a heartbreaker, kind of ripped your guts out because they were up 60-52 with a little over 3 minutes to go. With their veterans and their guards, you should have been able to kind of close that game out. But basketball is a funny game. Sometimes you don't get the bounces.
No.
Sometimes the ball doesn't go in the hole. I mean, and that's just the way it works sometimes. And, but the thing with the SEC is, and that's what Mississippi State's kind of been going through, and even Georgia, because Georgia, I think, was 2-1, and now they're 2-4 because they've lost 3 in a row. This league is such a meat grinder that it is you don't want it to turn into an avalanche to where the league is so difficult. That's why winning home games is so important, and that's why I talked about Alabama taking care of business on Saturday. But you look, at Ole Miss, that's the thing. They lose this heartbreaker, and now they're going to Columbia to play Missouri. Missouri's coming off of a loss to Texas. 61-53. And in Texas, like I already said, they've got a big game with A&M because Rodney Terry, they had a pretty good pre-conference run. They want to stay in contention for this because I still say from an 18-game schedule, probably your cutoff line for conference wins in a regular season to give you a chance to get into the field of 68 is going to be 7 or 8 wins, 7-11, 8-10. Anything below that, you're probably in trouble. And I still think, I know Auburn's undefeated, I understand, but I still think a 3 or 4 loss team, I'm still leaning toward 14-4. Now, I totally respect what Auburn's doing, but this is too good a league. I don't expect Auburn to run through it unbeaten or with 1 or 2 losses.
And there seems like Texas A&M, who is fantastic on rebounds. I mean, they're one of the best teams defensively and offensively rebounding. That once you get into the tournament, there's a team at Texas A&M that's like 6th, 7th, 8th in the conference. They could be the ones making a Sweet 16.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just think about a week from Saturday too. It'll be a big one because they've already given one back because they lost the game to Texas A&M, but Ole Miss will be hosting Auburn. Mm-hmm. And that's a huge opportunity for Chris Beard and the Rebels because very likely if Auburn is going to be undefeated if they take care of Tennessee, because if they take care of Tennessee, they got LSU. And LSU, I don't like that matchup for the Bayou Bengals. And then that Saturday would be Auburn and Ole Miss. And then, that would be a tremendous matchup, no doubt about it. And it would be 2 heavyweights within the league. And I still think you can consider Ole Miss one of those. And then Auburn would have Oklahoma after that. And then buckle up, guys, because, and they're not playing until later in the season, like really the last month. But there's going to be 2 meetings between Alabama and Auburn that are setting up to be epic, including the last day of the regular season, which that's kind of a North Carolina Duke deal.
See,
there you go.
I talked about it on Tom's show. Like, it's getting to the point that Alabama and Auburn are so good. These are the games that Dick Vitale needs to be at. Yeah. Like that, and I say it just becomes of him because he is the standard in which if there's a college basketball game that is big, he's the one that is there, especially now that he's back on ESPN.
Yeah. Both teams just need to really hold up their sides of the bargain so we get that true Iron Bowl basketball matchup. As much as you don't like me to say it,
you shut your mouth.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
There's just multiple of them.
No.
So,
well, I will say the 2 days to circle, February 15th, March the 8th. That's when they both of them meet. The first one will be in Tuscaloosa. That last day of the regular season, it will be in Auburn. Both of them are on Saturdays, thank the Lord. So people can get there, and they're both at championships. The first one's 3:00. The one in Auburn Arena will be at 1.
And the good thing is we're most likely not going to have to deal with a snowstorm because there have been Alabama Auburn games where there have been snowstorms that have actually kept people away because they couldn't get to the arena. That's not going to be the case with it being later in the season.
Honestly, I feel like they need to flex these games. They seem like primetime matchups. But regardless of that, Drew DeArmond has been our guest, presented by McCurry Motors at Alumni Hall. Drew, always wonderful having you on, man. What's one thing you are going to be focusing on that is not Alabama this weekend?
That I picked both road teams in the NFL. I picked the Washington Commanders and I picked the Buffalo Bills. That would be the Super Bowl. It would be history because with Jaden Daniels and his situation, there's never been a rookie go to the Super Bowl. I already had people ask me this morning on the show, what about Dan Marino? But that was the 2nd or the 3rd year for Dan when they went in '84 and lost that Super Bowl. And then it set records and we're just so dynamic offensively. He wasn't a rookie. But Jaden Daniels is so unique. Jalen Hurts has been solid. He hasn't been spectacular. It's going to come down to can Washington, can they stop Saquon? I mean, Saquon's the heartbeat of their team. He's a tremendous talent. And then with Buffalo, look, I know Kansas City's been a machine, and they've won. They're trying to win 3 in a row. Nobody's ever done it. And I know they've had Buffalo's number in the playoffs, but I just got this feeling that this is Buffalo's year. We'll see. Josh Allen, to me, is the MVP of the league. No disrespect to the great Pat Mahomes, who's got so many skins on the wall. But I'm going with the underdogs in these games. I'm going with Buffalo and Washington.
And with what Drew's talking about, Marino's first the trip to the Super Bowl for him was in 1984. His rookie season was 83.
Well, second year. A lot of people also get confused with Colin Kaepernick and his season where he was able to take the 49ers to the Super Bowl. People are like, who is this guy? He comes in for Alex Smith. And yeah, a lot of people honestly thought he was a rookie that season, but
No, he went his turn like Jalen Miller.
Oh, and also just broken Alex Smith. But regardless of that, Drew, always great to have you on, man. We'll talk with you next week as well as looking forward to more talking ball. But we'll take it to break off of that.
Yes, and as when we come back, we got a question for you as well. And I have found Lim Cohen's stats as an Alabama Viper. We will have that when we come back on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and the Blitz.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97 ESPN The Zone. For a limited time, G-Bank is offering a $250 bonus when you open a G-Bank Visa signature card. Apply today at vsin.com/G-Bank.
Championship Sunday, National Football League. The Chiefs a 1.5 favorite at Arrowhead against the Buffalo Bills, 47.5 the total. Travis Kelce's had 71 or more receiving yards in 14 straight playoff games for the Chiefs. You can bet Kelce 70-plus receiving yards at -115. It's the NFC East and the NFC Championship game. The Philadelphia Eagles hang 6 against the Washington Commanders, 47.5 the total. Auburn Tigers -220 to win Southeastern Conference regular season title, hosting Tennessee tomorrow. Alabama Crimson Tide at home with the LSU Tigers. For more, go to vsin.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for detail.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
Howdy, folks. Bob Baumhauer here. Whether you're planning a tailgate party at the game, cheering for your favorite teams at home, or at your local Baumhauers with your family and friends, we're here to make your football party legendary with our party-ready tray selections. From our always fresh buttermilk fried chicken tenders to the homemade Nana's chicken salad, and of course, our fresh, never frozen, award-winning buffalo-style chicken wings. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Here in North Alabama, barbecue is a part of what makes our home so special, and great barbecue from Lawler's makes it just that much better. Since 1978, Lawler's has been serving up their delicious barbecued pork, ribs, chicken, ham, and turkey for generations of family get-togethers. Recognized as the best barbecue joint in Alabama for 2 years in a row, Lawler's is thrilled to share their award-winning barbecue for your next family meal or catered event. Order online or stop by any one of their 14 area locations. Lawler's Barbecue, cooked slow, served fast.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Temperatures only drop into the mid-20s as we head into the overnight early into your Saturday morning. Still going to be cold across the Tennessee Valley, but hey, at least it's not the single digits. A partly sunny sky on Saturday afternoon. We're going to notice a sharp increase in the amount of cloud cover through the later part of the afternoon and then early into the evening, though temperatures are going to begin to climb a little bit more. Highs hanging out in the mid and upper 40s. We're getting so close to 50 degrees, dropping into the upper 20s, lower 30s as we head into the overnight. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
We cover all the SEC schools, including Western Union and Venmo.
I want that money!
You know, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
If there's one song we need to take into the New Year's, this is the one. This is the one I want to keep.
Is it though?
Yes. You remember yesterday when you saw that guy wearing that JoJo sweatshirt?
Yes.
That's what this is from. Welcome back into the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk alongside another chair, and a few boxes downstairs. Joe, I don't know. Did you notice the boxes downstairs?
I absolutely noticed the boxes downstairs, and that's the reason why I am going to be doing this. This is the first time that I'm actually going to be doing this by myself. So let's see if this actually works. Nope, it didn't work.
I could hear something in my ear.
You could hear it.
I hear some like static maybe. But
Yeah.
hear what?
Whoa,
Don't do that again. Don't do that again, Joe.
Look, that was like Inception of audio.
You scared
but
me.
I didn't know that the audio was working.
Okay, well, while you figure that out, I will remind the
All right.
people that this show is presented by the wonderful people over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys that you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com to fill out your free quote today. And remember that Fleming always shows up, unlike Joe's computer audio. Joe, you got it?
How do I say goodbye?
Damn it! Yeah! Somewhere right now, Ron Slay is getting chills up his spine because he always hates hearing this whenever I play it. But yes, we are saying goodbye to this studio, as this is the last show that we will do inside of what John Abraham likes to call no man's land. You can't
What
say
am I
that
going to call the new place?
You can't call it no man's land anymore.
All man's land.
Yeah, we're not going to be in the attic anymore. We're not going to be doing the show in pure darkness.
Damn it.
We are about to upgrade everything. We are going from standard definition to HD.
Damn it.
To HD to 4K.
You look pretty good. My camera's a little. It's the lighting.
It is the lighting. It is all the lighting. All the lighting is going to be fixed.
Oh my god.
The studios are going to be beautiful.
You should have been playing. You should switch this one up. I'm on a new level. That
No,
should be the
no.
song.
And this is why I say it, as I'm going to go ahead and kill since you're all sad and stuff. But no, here's the reason that I did that is because we are going to be upgrading. This is and you heard it on Tom's show yesterday afternoon, right when he started the show.
Yeah, a little anticlimactic.
Yeah, no, it was just kind of like a boom, bottle rocket that fell over and as
Fizzled
it was being
out.
shooted out. Yeah, this is our last day in this studio as we know it, because next week there's going to be, some of us are going to be on Zoom. Some of us may be in a hotel room. Some of us may be traveling back and forth, may not even have a show altogether for a day or so.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the way that the Blitz looks right now, this is the last time that we will be doing the show as it looks, because the next time that John and I are in the same studio, it will be a brand new state-of-the-art studio with brand new everything.
I can't wait.
Televisions. You're going to have 4K cameras. We're going to have brand new lighting. We're going to have brand new computers, everything.
Brand new backdrop that
Brand
is
new
going to just be
backdrop.
different every single day. I can't wait.
Yeah,
Joe. And on top of that, I'm actually going to be able to see the sun whenever I'm working on the shows because I'm not in an attic and I can't see the light until 2:00.
There's one window. There is one window. Yeah, there's one window.
I love that
Yeah.
window.
So yeah, this is kind of strange because as awesome as it is about to be at the end of next week when we get everything ready to go and all the shows are back in studio, it's still kind of bittersweet to be leaving the attic. I mean, we were in an attic, man.
I'm going to miss the green carpets and maybe the ghost up in the attic,
yeah.
I guess.
Is the ghost going to go with us? I've slept way too many times on these floors back here. I think I even took a nap yesterday, as a matter of fact.
A little sad.
All right, but how do you say goodbye? We want to know. 256-576-977 as we continue on the Blitz.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports and it's brought to you by Guthrie's. America's original chicken finger restaurant is a proud partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. On yesterday's edition of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, we were joined by Alabama linebacker Deontay Lawson.
You know, I always love the fan base here at Alabama, and then after that, I was like, wow, like I didn't think that many people would be excited, but that just shows you the love this fan base has for the players, and it's truly an honor to be here, and I appreciate the fans like no other, and they show up every week and perform to their best, and
I'll have more in a moment.
Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers, an Alabama tailgate tradition. Founded in Haleyville, Alabama in 1965, Guthrie's has been a Bama fan favorite for years. From your hometown to college towns all around, Guthrie's is still serving the family's original Southern fried chicken recipe just like always, fresh, hot, and fast. Make Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers the MVP of your next tailgate. Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant and now an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
We've got you covered this weekend for Alabama basketball. First on Saturday, our coverage will start at 6:30, getting you ready for men's basketball against LSU with tip-off at 7:30 p.m. Then on Sunday, it's women's basketball against Vanderbilt, tip-off at 1, and our coverage on the network starting at 12:45 p.m. You can listen to the games on the full radio network, Varsity Network app, as well as watch the courtside cam presented by NASCAR on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Guthrie's. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
It all comes back to money.
Visit our store right now at zonedeals.bigdealsmedia.net to take advantage of all the best deals in the Tennessee Valley. Or just go to our website, 977espn.com, and click on the Zone Deals logo to start saving right now.
Now, as to the price.
These deals won't last long, so get yours now. Zone Deals. You'll thank us later.
A man who could easily afford to buy a vowel.
Are you trying to find a new house? Are you trying to find the right loan? The right people to do your loan? Look no further than the Bank of Frank Ewing in Hazel Green. John Kendall, the Vice President of Mortgage with me. John, when they need a loan, and I say they, when people need a loan, it's about them.
That's right, Scott. Our whole motto is it's all about you. We're going to be okay. You're the one making the investment. We want to make sure that you're taken care of.
How do they find you?
Give us a call at 256-507-9180, or they can catch us online at bankofFrankEwing.com.
It's Bank of Frank Ewing in Hazel Green, where they take the home loan to you and they make it all about you. Bank of Frank Ewing in Hazel Green is an FDI insured bank as well as an equal housing lender.
NMLS number 446707.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. For a limited time, GBank is offering a $250 bonus when you open a GBank Visa signature card. Apply today at vsin.com/GBank.
Championship Sunday in the National Football League. The Chiefs a 1.5 favorite at Arrowhead against the Buffalo Bills, 47.5 the total. Travis Kelce's had 71 or more receiving yards in 14 straight playoff games of the Chiefs. You can bet Kelce 70-plus receiving yards at -115. It's the NFC East in the NFC Championship game. The Philadelphia Eagles laying 6 against the Washington Commanders, 47.5 the total. Auburn Tigers -220 to win the Southeastern Conference regular season title, hosting Tennessee tomorrow. Alabama Crimson Tide at home with the LSU Tigers. For more, go to vsin.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 30s and lower 40s, dropping into the mid-20s as we head into the overnight early into your Saturday morning. A partly sunny sky Saturday afternoon. We are going to begin to see temperatures climb a little bit on Saturday, so that'll be kind of nice. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 40s. We're getting really close to 50 degrees. We only drop into the upper 20s, lower 30s as we head into the overnight early into your Sunday morning, but we're also going to see an increase in cloud cover across the area. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Second hour, final hour, best hour. That kind of means a little bit more after what we just talked about to wrap up the 9 o'clock hour on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, as well as WZZN TV, which is where you can watch us right now. You can watch us every single day that we are live. Go make sure that you are there and subscribe, because not only do you get us on there, you get Talking Ball, you have the Tom Abraham Show, you have the Drive, we have the Havoc Hour. There's 64 different things that we could do. And it may or may not even add video game streams at some point in time while we're just kind of hanging out, because we have nothing to do during the summer. Yeah. So we may even add that whole Beat the Blitz thing that we continue to talk about.
It might be like a year old by the time we talk about it.
It may be. Still. Great things take time.
Exactly.
Unlike Ohio State and trying to get their roster back together, because apparently they don't have much time to try to make sure that their roster stays together.
Well, did it take too much time to really get this roster put together in the first place? All it took was quite a bit of millions of dollars, and then they had the team. Most of them transfers. I'm just saying.
Well, look,
Will Howard, Judkins. I feel like and on top of that, Seth McLaughlin. I feel like the only guy that they didn't bring in, on top of that, Jeremiah Smith, who wasn't a transfer, but he was a recruit. But still, they're offering him plenty of money, and now he's making just as much as any of the other top players on that team. Defense, Caleb Downs. You think about all of the players they brought in the span of an offseason.
Yep.
They're going to be able to do it again.
Well, and the reason I bring that up is because On3 did an article just a little while ago about how even though they just won the national championship, we know that their transfer portal period is still open because they just played in the national championship game. Even Auburn is going to be having a visit from Notre Dame transfer wide receiver. Okay. Not one of the good ones, but it was a transfer wide receiver that just played in the game for Notre Dame.
There weren't many.
No, there wasn't. Yeah. But it was that's going to happen. The thing about it is that now somebody like Jeremiah Smith that you were just talking about, there are people that deal with NIL money and projections and everything, saying that he could be offered anywhere from $3 million to $5 million just for next season.
Golly.
And that is if he decides to enter the transfer portal and to go through the whole spiel there, which he's got to make that decision. So now this is college football in 2025.
Yeah.
They just won a national championship. And again, they got to make sure that all the players want to come back. And if they are thinking about leaving, that their NIL fund, while it is still together, called the Foundation can raise enough money to make sure that they pay for these players, because it's not just him. It's also Jermaine Matthews, it's Sonny Styles. These guys that are trying to make decisions on the NFL or coming back, they're looking at the NIL side of this, be like, all right, cool, I'll come back, but you're going to have to pay me. Yeah,
and here's the thing with the younger players, especially the Jeremiah Loves or Smiths. I'm thinking of the Notre Dame running back as well. He is only 18 years old. And for these types of players, they look at those older players like the Carson Becks that at one point were Heisman favorites and maybe even first-round picks. They look at what they're making when they transfer. He's only making $3 million a year. I better get my money's worth while I'm young, because that's when I'm getting paid the most. That's what I'm going to think of. I could see some of these huge contracts be thrown at some of these freshmen, sophomore players like we're seeing from Auburn, like we're seeing from Michigan. That's where these players are going to make their most money.
Well, and one of them just a few seconds ago just made it official that he is going to be entering the NFL draft, and that is Quinshon Judkins.
Wow.
So he absolutely, Quinshon is going to be, he's not going to be returning to school. He's considered the number 5 overall running back in this draft. And so there's a reason for it. Now, for a lot of people that may not know this, do you know where he went to high school?
Oh, it was it somewhere in Georgia?
Close.
Okay. Then it was somewhere in Alabama.
It was somewhere in Alabama. It was
Pinson Valley. I'm just going to guess it.
No, it was not Pinson Valley. That's Bo Nix. He went to Pike Road High School, which is right outside of Montgomery.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Pike Road. It's actually a relatively new school, just to be honest with you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, it's a relatively new school that's been around, but he is a Pike Road grad. And so he's an Alabama native.
Okay.
So he is going to be going to the NFL draft as the number 5 overall prospect. Could he get drafted by the Raiders? Don't know, but we do know that they do have a brand new head coach, and that is Pete Carroll, because it is now official as we were talking, because Drew was even talking about how Adam Schefter was saying the deal should be close to getting done. The Raiders have made that official. So now the AFC West is made up of Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh, Sean Payton, and Pete Carroll.
That's a bunch of big names.
And at least, most likely, at least one of those, if not 2 of those coaches, are going to miss the playoffs every single year. And you have those 4 big names potentially going to be in this for there. So it's kind of now with Pete Carroll going to the Vegas Raiders, they're going to have the 6th overall draft pick. You now know the whole Dion being the head coach of the Raiders thing, and
throw that out the window.
Oh, you know, Shadir has Raiders cleats. He's got Giants cleats. He's got Titans cleats.
It's all fiction now.
Just, it doesn't matter anymore when at least it comes to the point with Prime.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And I do want to talk a little bit more about some of the coaches. Of course, we got to get into some of our predictions, as well as some interesting stories that we're reading up on. Of course, Jalen Milroe, who's trying to build his draft stock. But
Big week.
Do need to hop into the phone lines, because we do have some of you listeners on there. 256-576-977. We start with Brandon. Brandon, how you doing, man?
So y'all were talking about how do you say goodbye. So
how do you say goodbye, man?
Do we want to do like saying goodbye to E.T., all dogs go to heaven, like Stappy, or what do we want to do?
See, that's what I'm trying to figure out, because it's bittersweet, because again, I worked in the old studio that we had. I wasn't here for the move from the old studio to this studio.
How did you say bye to 97.7 in the first place, Joe? You probably know this best.
Well, no, I mean, I have said bye before. It was more of like a, hey man, like, I love you guys. I'm going to miss you guys, but I know that I'm going off to do something that I at least got to take a swing at.
Yeah.
I
Respectable.
mean, that's kind of how it is.
Yeah.
But that's also hey, the door's open to come back, which it was. But again, the door's not open to come back to this studio.
Mm-hmm.
So Brandon, I don't know what you want to take from that as far as how we doing all dogs go to heaven, or are we going just straight up throwing a match as we walk out the door? I don't know. We can't really do that because there's other people in this building. But
I'm gonna go just short of the match. I'm gonna go a movie from 1994, PCU.
Oh, now I love some PCU.
I think y'all ought to stomp around and chant, "Hey, hey, ho, ho, this blanky blank's got to go," as y'all go out the door. That wouldn't be too bad.
Hey, hey. No, that's Jeremy Piven. That was Jeremy Piven. Yeah. Yes. and I think it was Jon Favreau before he was actually like basically helping with making Iron Man the greatest franchise to ever bring Marvel back. Yeah, that was a fantastic movie. That's another one that that somebody that's in this room right now needs to be watching at some point in time.
And if you want to throw hamburger meat at vegetarians, I won't be mad at you on the way out the door of that one either. So.
Yeah, no, that's it. I mean, we could always do the picture and all of us be shooting the bird at the room before we walk out. I mean,
that movie's top 5 all time for me. I absolutely love it. Does the new building have a fire pole?
God, it needs it. Why have we not gotten a fire pole?
To like slide down to the first level?
Yes.
Because it will. I was about to say something a little too much.
No, it's
not bad, but like just I don't want to give away.
We need a fire pole.
John's $1 bill goes.
Yeah, we need a fire pole.
Not yet.
A fire pole. I mean, that was when I built my new garage. I'm thinking about putting a fire pole in it.
We absolutely need it as a fire pole, not a stripper pole, but a fire pole.
No, you still got to oil it up though, regardless, because that will rip off your fingernails and all of that.
A stripper pole or a fire pole?
Fire pole, yeah.
Oh.
Both. Well, actually, both.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oil them up.
You know that.
Well, if the fire pole's in the studio, you can make it the Pink Pony Studios. I mean, everything's for sale.
Brandon,
everything is for sale, man.
When I was a young salesperson, the first thought that I had going through my mind was I could sell to anybody. And I thought Pink Pony is going to be my first challenge. I decided not to go into Pink Pony that day and just kept driving forward.
Yeah. I, on the other hand, have worked on a show that was sponsored by a strip club.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah. We had strippers in the building every single Friday making picks on football games.
That's freaking awesome, Joe.
Yeah.
Okay,
we
now
did.
Now I regret my decision.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm going to go with the doing the PCU chant on the way out the door.
Okay.
That'd be how I would say goodbye.
Good stuff, man. Very much appreciate that. I would say
go to heaven.
I'd say the way that I would do it, 2 weeks notice. I'd just say hey, yo, I got another job.
No. We're not doing a 2 weeks notice to the building, mainly because we didn't know we didn't have 2 weeks.
No, it pretty much it's not. Yeah, we had no idea what it was.
But no, that's why I'm just curious. How do you say goodbye to even though you're upgrading? Bro, we are going to be massively upgrading.
It's going to be huge.
Okay, like this is something we've been working on for months.
Hopefully the phone lines work better too.
This thing is going to be legit.
So, fine. Okay, you know how I say bye. I just say, zoop!
You do.
And then I'll do a backflip on the property just so I can put it down in my black book of backflips.
Of buildings that you have conquered with a backflip?
Yeah, of properties that have took backflips on.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious. How do you say goodbye? Even though you're upgrading, I guess it's not like you're going from a 2 to a 7 in girlfriends or anything. Actually, we're probably going from like a 3 to a 10. But hey,
I'd say a 6. The green carpeting has its charm, and
dude, this is
a lot of points right there.
Okay, outside the fact that it's literally like the ultimate man cave because we've all wanted to have an attic that we could literally just hang out in all the time,
or a basement,
or a basement, whichever one.
No windows, regardless.
But we're going from that to this amazing studio that we're about to be rocking.
And now we're going back to the phone lines because we got Jeff from the borough on with us. Jeff, how you doing today, big man?
How's it going, guys? How you doing? Football make prediction time. I'm going to think it's going to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, we will be throwing out some predictions on the Super Bowl.
Commanders and how about Commanders and Bills, or I don't know. Commanders, Chiefs, maybe, I don't know.
That's what Drew wanted, and Drew said is Commanders Bills.
Which one do you prefer?
Wait, I'm not really. I'm not a fan of either teams. I like to see the Bills go because Ray Davis have a
absolutely,
yeah,
lucky guy. But I wouldn't mind seeing them win. I don't know if they'll beat the Chiefs or not, though. But Commanders be nice if Commanders beat the Eagles. Hadn't been in a long time, but of course the Eagles got a guy from Bill, Tennessee, Reed Blankenship for secondary, so they have a chance to get a ring. He beat out a guy from LSU years ago, but he'll have a chance to get a ring if they go again. But I don't know if they'll beat or win again, if they could. But I don't know. So just being, I'm not a fan of really any other team, so don't matter to me. I'm more a Pittsburgh, Chicago person, and they've got a lot to do. Pittsburgh they got to get a quarterback, I guess, or something. I don't know what they're wanting to do. They say they want to get rid of Tomlin, which is stupid. So they're pretty much think that they're pretty dumb. Just like of Tennessee getting rid of Fulmer in 2008. Pretty stupid too, but they did it anyway. So they didn't care. They still got rid. We like to fire coaches who win natties. So no matter what he does, 100 games over 500, they still got rid of him. So and like we know, and that's what Tennessee does. So, but now another interesting basketball weekend. My alma mater won last night in a row. Went to Sam Houston, won. They're they're all alone in first place in the league. They're 5-1 in the conference guys wise, so they're doing pretty well. And and they play La Tech on Saturday. It's on television on ESPNU. So 5:30, hopefully get another win. So, but I was glad you got what you think about the basketball weekend. I know it's a lot of good SEC games. Kentucky's getting into Vanderbilt, so I know Auburn plays Tennessee without Broom, I guess. So
yeah,
I don't know if they'll be able to hang, but but I mean, maybe Bruce the cheater will throw some NIL money people's way, and we all know he cheated. So I don't want to hear this stuff. He didn't cheat at Auburn. He did. I don't want to hear it. It's a bunch of mess. You know it, and I know it that he did. He cheated everywhere he's been. It's proven. Okay, Kyle ain't proven with him. He didn't win. I didn't win the black shirt. And also, you said Tino couldn't coach. Is that true? He can't coach anymore. He can't coach, right?
I don't think that was this show that said that.
And then this show, somebody said it on this show that he couldn't coach, or somebody at Louisville. All he's done at St. John's is they're 17-3, ranked number 20 in the country. Is all they've done. So I believe he can still coach. I don't care what he done at Louisville or wherever else. Nobody cares, but somebody was slamming him one day about what he did at Louisville. Nobody cares because he left there and went to Greece and won a championship over there. He can win anywhere he wants to. He's one of the best of all time. And if he takes St. John's a tournament, it'll be his sixth school: Boston University, Louisville, Kentucky. Boston U, Providence, Louisville, Kentucky, Iona, and St. John's. It'll be his sixth school. He's taking the NCAA tournament. 6. You know if anybody else has that many?
Well, most coaches don't go to 6 different schools.
I know, but I'm saying, you know, any that has done that.
No, but also, I'm also curious as to why you can say that nobody cares about what he did at Louisville, but people talk about with
you said he couldn't coach it.
I didn't say that at all.
Couldn't coach.
Somebody said it.
He cheated at Louisville, so he wasn't worth the count. And he went over all he did was when he left Louisville, he went over to Greece, over in a basketball league. A few months later, and won a championship. Approach over there.
Okay. Now I probably have said that he's cheated at Louisville because he did. I didn't say.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I guess we've got to hold players' hands and know where they're at every.
No, you just don't have to buy strippers for them in their dorms.
Well, how do you know we bought them?
There are literally documents.
It's a census. I don't know, but I'm saying you can't hold kids' hands every other day. I'm not saying he did wrong, whatever. I'm just saying, let me tell you something. The Kentucky fans are indebted to him forever.
Absolutely.
Okay? And he went back when Pope at the midnight went back and they gave him a sad low brows. And like he said, I've come back to Camelot one more time for you. Because he knows when he knows he made and he said it before, when he left Kentucky to go to the pros, he made the big mistake of his life.
Oh, yeah.
He knows.
Oh, absolutely.
Similar to Nick Saban.
So I mean, but it'll be the 6th one, and he's a Hall of Famer. See, Bruce Pearl ain't got there yet. Bruce the cheater ain't got there yet. See, Patino's in it, and so is Cal. It don't matter what Cal does. He's got his legs secure, pal. Because Marcus Camby did it to himself. He got that money from an agent. Cal didn't help him. And Rose, they still say that the NCAA say he took that ACT test. Nobody took it for him. And when Camby got that money, when he signed his first contract in the pros, he paid that money back and then some. That's all UMass lost was the money from that tournament run. They didn't lose nothing else. That's all they lost. He paid it back and then some. So Cal didn't tell Marcus Camby to take that money. Camby did it himself, and Rose did it to himself if he took that wrong test. Cal didn't do nothing wrong. The NCAA has nothing on him. You know it, and I know it. And you know it. There's the only reason why people hate Cal and hate Pitino is because they're winners. See, they win, pal. They've got championships. Something that Bruce Pearl don't have yet. He's working on it, but he ain't done it yet.
You're right.
I mean, Bruce Pearl ain't in the Hall of Fame yet. He'll be in the Hall of Fame for cheating, I can tell you that. He'll be in there
for a barbecue. You're still hung up on the barbecue.
Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Tennessee, Auburn. Bottom line. See you. Have a good weekend.
Great stuff. I learned quite a bit from his conversations. I just want to let you guys know that I don't know who some of the people he was throwing out were. I know a majority of them, but then it gets like a gray area. Then my brain stops working.
You know who Derrick Rose is?
I know who Derrick Rose is.
Do you know the part about Derrick Rose he was talking about?
I know exactly.
Okay, just making sure that it was the Marcus Camby stuff.
I got the very much essentials from that whole conversation right there as we get yet another caller.
No, and it's the double standard of this. Like, first off, I'm still not the one that said that Rick Pitino couldn't coach. Still, I said now I'm still yes, he did cheat at Louisville. Yes, matter of fact, it wasn't it. If I remember correctly, it wasn't just stripper. It was like hookers that the man bought. Like, if I remember this correctly.
Oh, dude, it was a whole smorgasbord, baby.
I mean,
they were eating eating sushi off of women. I mean, it was crazy.
I mean, it was a lot. Okay, so no, but again, then you can't talk about Pitino and then put Bruce Pearl on a barbecue about that. And then, in the same sentence, also talk about how Cal never cheated and the NCAA doesn't have anything on him, but then still want to use the FBI investigation on Auburn's assistant coach against Bruce Pearl and say that he's the cheat. It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. That's why I'm sitting here like dumbfounded at the whole thing of this about what?
You know what? It's totally fine. It's totally fine.
I am so confused.
We should probably hop into a break just to get everything kind of straightened out. When we get back, we do have more callers on the lines on top of that little bit of Jalen Milroe conversation, as well as getting into our NFL predictions. So don't go anywhere because you're listening to The Blitz
on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, and WZZN TV. Pass the Tylenol.
Golly, I got some ibuprofen.
The Drive.
You know, both those guys have done a good job in what we've asked them to do, and both of them have developed nicely, and both of them have consistently made plays.
Wes and Steve.
Their decision-making, their judgment, their ability not to force things and take what the defense gives and distribute the ball with good decision-making, down in, down out, is probably the only thing that's going to be any different about them because it's not physical ability or talent. So it's intangibles, leadership, decision-making, judgment, and all those types of things. And, both guys have done a good job in that regard as well.
Listen to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton each weekday afternoon starting at 5. We are your home of ESPN Radio, 97.7 The Zone.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Alabama knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
This is Steve Moulton from 97.7 ESPN The Zone with my friend Brandon Pilcher from Pilcher's Appraisals. Brandon, what exactly do you do?
Steve, I'm an appraiser. I can value a property for you if you're potentially going to sell, and that valuation could also be used to help you with your property taxes.
Thanks, Brandon. Brandon is licensed in Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia. You can contact him at 706-936-3766. Call or text.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
All right, to answer the question that we had with Drew last hour around this time was, what did Lim Cohen do as a member of the Alabama Vipers, as he is now the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Still questioning it.
There's a lot of questions when it comes to Lim Cohen and the fact that he's going to be doing this. But the question is, what did he do as a member of the Vipers? Because he was one of the 6 quarterbacks that was on that Alabama Vipers team. He had 1 tackle.
Oh. So he was on the team, but he wasn't really on the team.
Yeah, no, it was from everything I've seen, it was actually Tim Hicks that was doing majority of the job for the Alabama Vipers. If you want to remember that 2010 year that the team played at the VBC as a member of the AFL. So there is your answer as far as after he left UMass and he went and became a member of the Alabama Vipers. He was there for 1 season, and he was a backup quarterback, and he had 1 tackle.
You'd think there'd be one picture of him playing football for the Alabama Vipers?
Yeah, well, he only had 1 tackle. So as the quarterback, you only having 1 tackle, the stats don't stat.
That means there might be an interception as well.
No, because that would have meant he threw a pass. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm almost feeling now like he was a special teams guy. Like, hey, man, we need you out there just as 1 play on special teams.
Well, they did have 6 quarterbacks on the team.
They did.
So
they did.
Just want to throw that out there.
You can watch every single day on WZZN TV. The next 2 or 3 shows going to be kind of weird. We're going to be in a lot of different places as we're getting everything set up. And there may be a day or 2 where the entire radio station is kind of taking a little vacation as we get everything set up in the brand new studios. Yeah. So make sure that you follow us on social media at 977 ESPN on X. You can do that on Instagram. You can do it on Facebook. You can do it anywhere that you want to follow us. We can always let you know about basketball games, hockey games, as well as even the fact that, yes, even though the next week's going to be weird, one thing is going to be the same through the first 3 days of the week. It's the Havoc Hour. We'll be back at 6 o'clock at Zambrewski's, regardless as to what we're doing with anything else. We will be back there on Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Let's go back to our phone lines, 256-576-977, as Steeler Mike joins me in the Bostonian on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. That's what that sounded like, was a Bostonian accent.
I didn't think I could get any dumber from the last time Jeff called, but since he did, I have actually gotten dumber again.
Am I wrong about the contradictions on every? It was. I mean, seriously.
Let's just go. You guys got your computer. When did Kentucky win the national championship?
Okay,
so basketball with Cal.
With Cal, I believe it was 2012, if I remember correctly. Yes. Without looking it up.
That was the very last time they won.
Yes, 2012.
So, okay. So congrats to their 2012 national championship. Let's talk about facts for University of Kentucky and their proud fans. Okay? Let's just talk absolute facts. Marlboro Jeff, I hope you're listening. Number one, your arena that you're named after is a known racist, a terrible person. Yes, he won a lot of basketball games with a lot of white kids. Congratulations. Adolph Rupp was a horrendous, terrible person. That's fact. We know that. Number 2, what else has Kentucky ever done in anything to make themselves significant other than men's basketball? Literally, they're a joke in everything else. They might have one good year every now and then in something. Maybe football, they'll go 8-4 and they're ready to give their coach a lifetime contract if you go 8-4 at Kentucky. But to talk about Pearl's Barbecue and talk about that Cal's clean, I mean, I hate to call someone a moron, but that's just a moronic statement. And the fact that he continues to just bang on Pearl for a barbecue and talk about cheating, and you got Cal up there, man, he was so happy with Kentucky, he went to Arkansas, Jeff. Come on, man. Guys, have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you for that. We appreciate that.
Good stuff. I meant to throw this out there. The another constant that's going to be going on next week that everybody can look forward to and continue to love. The social media will stay the same. I mean, it is going to still be giving you guys the updates that you need to know about all the sports and all that great stuff. And Joe, you bring this up, man. You said something about an Instagram, bro. Is it time? Is it time we get the Instagram up and running?
It's been time.
I am not going to post pictures, beautiful pictures of our hosts doing wonderful things in a studio that is as messy as the one we have right now.
That's the reason why.
I'm going to be honest.
Okay,
so this is now the time.
That's not saying that we need to start a TikTok, but TikToks are cool. You can do that. No, look, you post videos, you post pictures, you put music behind it. You
we
get
can do that on Instagram.
Yes,
we can
I
do
know,
that on YouTube.
But it's a totally different avenue.
TikTok deserves to be gone.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Okay. By the way, just in case you are curious about what Steeler Mike was talking about with national championships and with Kentucky and what have they ever done in the SEC, I have actually found the list of national championships that Kentucky has won in all sports.
They're pretty good at baseball. I just wanted to throw that out there. They are pretty decent at baseball.
How many national championships do you believe that Kentucky in all sports have won in total?
All sports.
All sports.
All together.
All together.
How far does their history go back to?
Long. Like 1900s, early, maybe even 1800s. How many national championships has Kentucky won in any sport? Total?
Any sport. All right. Well, give me
what was their last national championship?
I'm going to say women's volleyball.
Women's volleyball was their last national championship that happened in 2021.
I'm on a really good start right now.
That's in 2021.
And I think they've won a total. Wait, when did the school's athletic department open up?
I don't know, man. Do you think I know all that much? I just have to list national championships.
I'm just going to guess like 1891. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to say they've had 85 national championships across every single sport.
Let me do some math on this to see how correct you are. You said 85?
Yeah.
Okay, 85.
This will be the guess of the year.
No, it's 85. So it's going to go they have based on my math 15% of the number you just said.
So like
what? Kentucky only has 13 national championships total through all sports.
I thought I was going to guess like 25, and I thought that was low.
No, and volleyball is one of them. I will let you know another one that they have won national championship. They won a national championship in women's cross country in 1988. That means there are 4 sports that they have won national champions in. I've already given you 2 of those, volleyball as well as cross country. We know what the other one is because he talks about it all the time in basketball. They have won 8 national championships in men's basketball. There is another sport where Kentucky has won 3 national championships, and it is the second best sport when it comes to their national championships of the 13 they have. Can you guess it?
I'm just going to say I can't even say men's baseball. I can't even say that. No,
can't say men's baseball. It's not even one of the big 4.
Oh, volleyball.
Nope. You've already said that.
Okay. Men's volleyball.
Nope.
Okay. Give me golf.
Nope.
Oh, okay. I only have a few more sports to go. Do they have water polo?
I don't know, but that's also a nope.
Okay. Hockey?
Nope.
Of course they don't. Horse racing?
Nope.
Damn it. What are the sports they got over there? No, we already did basketball.
No, not women's basketball.
Men's basketball.
They've already got 8. We just discussed this.
I may have been in and out.
You adding more national championships to the 8? Is that what you're trying to do?
What
Okay, Alabama.
would it be? Can you give me a hint? Is there any way
It's not one of the big 4 sports.
Okay, that was already the hint.
Yeah, it's not one of the big 4. So no soccer, no volleyball, no lacrosse, none of that.
I didn't even say soccer yet.
No, not even lacrosse.
You didn't say,
even
okay, not
no.
lacrosse. Oh, all right.
Just keep thinking. Let's go to the phone lines. 256-576-977. Jason, welcome in to the Blitz.
Rifle team.
It is rifle.
Wow.
It is the rifle team. That is exactly right. I don't have a prize or anything, but Kentucky has won 3 national championships in rifle, and that was 2011, 2018, and 2021 when they also won one in volleyball.
Oh, yeah. They had to help the basketball team out, winning a championship. They've only got 8.
Yep.
I mean, most of you snipers and your assassins probably do come from Kentucky.
True.
So they got a good recruiting class over there.
I mean, that comes with the moonshine, doesn't it? And the bourbon?
Yeah.
That goes back to their history.
That was my next sport I was going to
You
guess.
got to guard that moonshine. You got to be a good shot.
No, creating moonshine was the next sport I was going to guess.
Oh, yeah. And cheater, I hear the word Cheaters Hall of Fame and Bruce Pearl.
Yeah, multiple times, actually.
Okay. Bruce Pearl is probably not the cleanest recruiter of all time, but I sort of like the guy. Not an Auburn fan, though. But if you want to go to Cheaters Hall of Fame, look up the name Eddie Sutton when he was the basketball coach at Kentucky. Eddie had a player that they brought in named Eric Manuel, who he sent a student from the University of Kentucky to Macon, Georgia, to take the ACT test for him. Though he passed it, they found out Eric was not a Caucasian, and the guy that took the test was a Caucasian. So he was banned forever for playing NCAA basketball.
Dang.
And then they sent $400,000 to a kid in Los Angeles, California named Chris Mills, who ended up playing for Michigan because the package opened when they handed it to him, and the UPS man witnesses also. So Eddie Sutton, and they was banned for like a year or two from playing in the tournament. You had one player that was banned from ever playing Division I basketball. He ended up playing in Oklahoma City for Egg Lemon.
Yeah, no, he was suspended for the 87-88 year, and if I believe this is right, he never stepped foot on Kentucky's court because the investigation went the entire season on him. So he never wore a uniform for them.
Yeah, but if you don't believe what Jason's saying, just look it up. You'll find it.
Yep. I mean, you want to talk about Cheaters Hall of Fame? That trumps anything Bruce Pearl ever does.
Yeah, and see, look, and I will always continue to say, again, the man had a barbecue. Okay, it was a barbecue. I mean, literally, now we would even laugh at the fact that you're having a barbecue. Mm-hmm. The other part about it is the continuously wanting to bring up the FBI investigation. The NCAA was not protecting Bruce Pearl. They were not protecting any of their head coaches in this. There's no way for them to truly be able to protect them because, again, the FBI doesn't care what your job title is. They would walk up on the president and open the door with him with guns in his face if there was a reason to because of an investigation. They don't care what your title is. So the whole thing of Chuck Person taking the fall for Bruce, no, because they would have rolled up in to Bruce Pearl's house if the FBI had anything on him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
What he was talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all have a good Friday.
Thanks for that, Jason. No, we appreciate that.
So what's this thing about Jalen Milroe you got? Because we have a little bit of time to finish out this segment, and then we got to get into some of our predictions looking forward to the conference championships. That may be, a little bit mush because of all the football we've already had this year. But at the same time, I'm still very much looking forward to it.
Well, and a lot of stuff comes down with Jalen Milroe and how important next week actually is for him, because for a lot of people that don't realize this is, next week is Senior Bowl week.
More college football. Let's go.
Yeah, more college football as it is Senior week, as all of these players are going to be heading down to Mobile. Now, just found out just a little while ago, as a matter of fact, is there is a number of Ohio State players that are not going to be playing in the Senior Bowl or participating in the Senior Bowl because of them just coming off the national championship run.
I don't blame them.
Again, well, I mean, obviously not. But Dane Brugler announced just a second ago, says due to the extended season and playoffs for both Ohio State and Notre Dame, several players will not be playing in the Senior Bowl next week, and even put in the quotes, understandable. Hey, look, NCAA, there's another reason to make some changes, and one of those is going to be quarterback Will Howard. He is not going to be playing in that. Xavier Watts isn't. Donovan Jackson, Jack Sawyer, Ty Hamilton, all of those players are not going to be playing in it. Now, again, arguably some of those guys don't need to worry about that. Yeah. As they'll get ready for the NFL Combine, they'll get ready for everything, and they'll probably still could potentially go down just for interviews and meeting with coaching staffs, because that's another big thing with the Senior Bowl. The game itself that happens on Saturday is really more fun than anything else. We get to see what's happening, but as far as Senior Bowl practice, these coaches getting to work with the players and getting to see them up close, that's kind of the bigger issue with this.
It's like connecting. It's just talking to some of these coaches, getting your foot in the door of obviously having that spread from coach to coach. That's the biggest part about it. And for a guy like Will Howard, you would think that this would be the perfect avenue for him. But again, he won the national championship and he showed plenty of what he had during the playoffs, regardless of, the past that he's had. And even you could look at that.
Yeah.
Still find success. I mean, Kansas State currently has a banner that goes up right now that's saying, our former quarterback won the national championship.
Yeah, I mean it's purple and it's gorgeous, and you're gonna see it.
Willie, you see Willie up at the top of it.
Big Willie wearing his Ohio State gear. No, but for Jalen Milroe on the other hand, he's going to go down and look for the idea of the Senior Bowl and the teams and the coaching staffs and everybody that's going to be down there. This is an opportunity for a lot of these coaches to see how players work with NFL coaches.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why the Titans are sending both coaches to work the Senior Bowl as well as to work the Shrine Bowl, because there are players that are going to be in both of those games that the Titans are very interested in potentially drafting number 1 overall.
Yeah.
And so this is where they're going to have the opportunity. A lot of quarterback coaches, a lot of offensive coordinators in the NFL will get to see a quarterback like Jalen Milroe up close. And Daniel Jeremiah the other day, matter of fact, yesterday was on the show with Pat McAfee to talk about the Senior Bowl and specifically what this means to Jalen Milroe.
When Alabama and you watch Milroe, you want him to be good so bad, because everything you hear, he's a great kid. He's freaking jacked. He's a big, strong, physical kid who can run like crazy. And just like, can he just take the next steps as a passer? And then, just some of the decision-making, Oklahoma game is one that jumps out, just kind of got away from him. And he's got a huge opportunity at the Senior Bowl next week. He's going to be down there, so we'll get a chance to see him. I think, just the traits, like we've seen that go sideways as of late when you just kind of go all in on traits and, some of the quarterbacking stuff isn't there. And you're like, okay, well, that's going to come. Sometimes it doesn't. So that's going to be what, he's a little bit of an enigma, but somebody will do it. He's going to go on day 2 just because the tools are so interesting.
He's going to go on day 2, which means second or third round.
Rightfully so. With the talent that he's got, that definitely seems doable. But, I mean, it's not just the Oklahoma game. This goes back to last year against the Michigan in Pasadena. This also goes back to this goes to this season against Michigan.
To the Iron Bowl.
I didn't even get to that point. It kind of goes to the Iron Bowl. He's still an SEC team going against SEC team.
Fumble.
The beginning of that game
Auburn
was horrendous.
An SEC team.
Horrendous beginning to the game. And that's one thing that Jalen Milroe will learn when he gets to the NFL level. It's just, is he going to fall into the right organization for him? Look, and it wouldn't be the Titans.
It is absolutely not the Titans. But the biggest thing for him is, and this is where, if he has something that is going to be traveling with him to Mobile that he is going to have to outwork, it is going to be the fact that there are a lot of people that say his coachability is going to be the biggest question mark with him. And so now if that is the case and the coachability is the question, NFL coaches being able to be hands-on with you and seeing you make adjustments from one play to the next when it comes to workouts, to drills, to scrimmages, to everything else, this will go ahead and begin to squash that, because these coaches have the ability to get their hands on these players and try to teach them just a little bit. And then what's going to happen is Milroe's then going to have 3 or 4 weeks off, and then he's going to go to the NFL Combine, and those same coordinators that taught him down in the Senior Bowl are going to watch him on the field during the drills at the Combine if he participates, and they're going to see, did he retain what we just talked about less than a month ago, or is he already slipping back into his old habits? If that's the case, that goes against the coachability, where a second-day guy turns into a third-day guy and costs yourself millions of dollars because they don't see you as coachable.
Here's the one thing I'm worried about. Can this old dog learn some new
He's
tricks?
not an old dog. He's like a 1-year-old dog that's still learning to sit.
Man, he had 2 full seasons of college football. That is an eternity.
But let's be honest. How much did you learn in college compared to how much did you learn on the job?
I didn't learn a thing in college.
And how much have you learned on the job?
I learned everything.
So there you go. How much is he going to retain in college? It does.
I don't know how much,
because there's a lot of players that have to learn a lot. Their ability gets them to college, and their ability then, depending on how well that they listen to coaches and how well they're coachable, gets them to the NFL. But then once you're there, are you going to be there a year, a week, a month, or 10 years? Which one is it going to be? It's all based on how much you have the ability to grow.
Well,
256-576-4977. As we continue, we wrap up the final blitz from No Man's Land next.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Have you discovered Good Company Cafe? The place for breakfast, brunch, lunch, and so much more. Enjoy brunch all day and pair with one of our many seasonal refreshing drinks, including alcoholic and non-alcoholic options. Choose inside or outside on our gorgeous, spacious, dog-friendly patio and have some fun with friends playing yard games in the courtyard. See catering, to-go options, and lots more at goodcompany-cafe.com. Good Company Cafe, 7500 South Memorial Parkway.
It's time to get ready for game day. That means Alabama football and tailgating. Whether you're tailgating at home or at Bryant-Denny, visit Brooks & Collier for North Alabama's largest selection of premium grills and smokers like Big Green Egg, Blaze, Delta Heat, Memphis, and Traeger. Satisfy any palate with our wall of rubs and seasonings. For all your tailgating needs, visit Brooks & Collier at 813 Meridian Street or at brooksandcollier.com. An Alabama tradition for over 75 years. Roll Tide.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Want to save some money?
I can take money and I can make it into more money.
Just check out our zone deals online at 977ESPN.com. We are 977 ESPN The Zone.
How do I say goodbye?
The final time we bring you back here in No Man's Land. John Aram, Joe Hunk, the Blitz. Joe, we're going to be leaving a lot of things behind.
We are.
Some memories, some trash equipment we probably should have threw away years ago.
Did I ever tell you about the time I almost caught this place on fire?
And then the time you almost caught this place on fire.
Twice.
God bless.
Yeah, so one thing that I've always told John about is is River Region Wrestling, and the fact that when we brought it back and we were doing it up here at this studio, I don't even know how long this studio had actually been here, but it was, obviously I was already in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And we started getting everything hooked up. Televisions are hooked up. PlayStation's good. We're recording everything. And then about that time, poof.
Well, that happens quite a bit in the studio.
Whole place went dark. Like whole place station went off the air. We're all freaking out. Like, what the heck is happening? We had no idea whatsoever. And so we almost caught it on fire. The other time I almost caught this place on fire was actually about a week ago. And nobody knows about this.
Well, now they do.
They're about to. I figure we're moving now. And everybody knows we're moving. So I can go ahead
we got to
and
move a little bit quicker so we can throw in our predictions, Joe.
By the way, you can put a lot of fast food wrappers in a microwave. You cannot put a Chick-fil-A wrapper in a microwave.
Well, yeah. Have you ever seen the inside of one? I'm pretty sure it's like, what is it? What's the name
Metal?
for it? Yeah, like aluminum.
It was inside of that microwave for literally 1 second on the microwave. Sparks started to fly, and I opened it up. And when I opened it up, the wrapper started to actually catch fire.
Geez.
And so I'm running and getting like a wet piece of napkin so that I can put it over. I still ate the chicken sandwich, by the way. Just letting you know.
You got a little bit of that nuclear.
Yeah. So if anybody in the building smelt a little smoke that day, it was because I was trying to heat up my Chick-fil-A and I didn't want to take it out of the wrapper.
I was thinking about what that Chernobyl noise was. The clicking from the nuclear reactor. Yeah. That's interesting.
No, absolutely. We didn't have any radioactive.
Good
waste
stuff,
or
though.
anything.
Good stuff from you, Joe. You didn't burn the place down in your short time actually in the studio.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I've only been here since September.
We got 2 games though going down that we are going to be looking forward to, that you'll also be able to listen to on our network. We're going to fly through some of our predictions on it right now. Joe, we're going to start with the NFC Conference Championship. I'm going to say this, all right? It's going to be the Commanders and Eagles. It's going to be going down Sunday, 2 p.m., all right? Commanders are going to Philly, and I think that the Commanders are going to get the win. And, maybe it's just because I've liked Jaden Daniels all throughout his career, and I thought this is going to be a stellar time he's going to have for this team. But now the more that I doubt this guy, the more that I think, actually, why am I doubting him? There is a huge opportunity for him to win this game. I think it's going to be 27-23. That's going to be the ball game.
Look, I would love for Washington to win it. I want to see Washington win it. And even on Tom's show yesterday when we were doing Beat the Big Dog, I even picked the Commanders to potentially pull the upset. But I'm not going to go with both of us being on the Commanders bandwagon for this.
Makes sense.
I do think that the Commanders are going to I honestly do feel like if there's going to be this is going to be one of the upsets, because the other one I think is definitely happening in Kansas City. Go ahead. I'm going to go with the Eagles just so that we're not both on the Commander's side.
Well, I honestly think the Eagles have a really good chance of winning, and the only way Washington can win is if they're able to pick apart that defense, because that is a good defense for Philadelphia. Bills Chiefs finishing it off. 37 seconds left on the show in the studio. Joe, who you going with?
I am going to go with Josh Allen and the Bills. I know, again, everybody, you're the Chiefs guy. You're the Chiefs guy. They're not playing well. They still aren't playing well. I know what they did against Houston. Buffalo is a better team right now.
Oh, geez.
Give me Buffalo.
I'm going Kansas City. They're going back. It's a part of the script. Three-peat incoming.
I'm okay.
10 seconds.
Josh Allen, do what we said about Tim Tebow. Cut the head off the snake if you are going to go to the Super Bowl.
Will you see you guys next week?
It's a beautiful day for a ball game.
Here it comes, and there it goes. Fly ball, deep left field, way back. This one is up. This one is gone.
Grab your peanuts and Cracker Jacks and get ready to cheer on the Tide.
Called third strike, a slider lower inside.